Welcome back, class. This is your Catia mentor, and in this video we're going to make a mannequin. This is your Catia mentor. So sometimes you have a situation where there's not enough Catia licenses at work, or there are no licenses. So you have to create your own mannequin. So just to show you, you can create your own mannequin using wireframe. Okay, so just to show you that this is functional, as you can see. Alright, so let's go ahead and create a mannequin from scratch. Okay, so let's start with an axis. I'm going to place a point at 0, 0, 0. Actually, I can always use the origin of the axis. So let's start with the shoulder area. Okay, so I'm going to go with line, point direction. I'll use point, and we'll go in the y direction. And I'm going to go 8 inches in each direction for a total of 16. Okay, so 8 plus 8, 16. Alright, now let's go with the vertical for the neck. In the z direction, let's go 0 for one of them, and I think we'll go with 5. Okay, so let's create a sphere to represent the head. Let's go with radius of 4, full sphere, maybe 3. I think we'll leave it at 4. I'm going to just come back and fix it. Alright, so let's start with the arm. Actually, this looks too large, so let me drop down to 3. Okay, that looks better. Alright, so let's put a shoulder. Do the same thing on this one. Let's go with 2.5. I'm only going to build the right hand side because of time. Alright, so we're going to put a line to represent the arm. Then we'll do the forearm. So I'm going to place a plane first. Forgot to add a plane. So I'm going to create a line. Angle normal to curve. So I'll go Z for my curve, point, and surface. Oh, undo. And to pick my support for pick the plane for the support. Okay, there it is. And we can drop this down to 0. Make this 12 inches. Okay, so let's create another sphere. Let's go with 2-inch radius. And let's create the forearm. Same thing. Angle normal to curve. So our curve will be the z-axis. That'll be our point, and we'll pick the same plane. Oh, don't want to go up to element. My mistake. I meant to pick support, then plane. And we'll go with 16 on this one. And let's create another sphere to represent the hand. I've actually created mannequins with a lot of detail, face features and fingers and toes, but because of time we're going to keep it simple. Alright, so now let's create the torso. Alright, so same thing, angle normal to curve, so we're going to use the z-axis, the point, origin and the plane. So this will represent the angle of the torso. And then I'm going to create a spline. Okay, so let's go with spline. At this point, tangent to that line, and we'll have it end at this point. Gotta flip the first one. There it is. So I can use this to control the torso, as you can see, for some flexibility there. Okay. Okay, next step, I'm going to mirror over the sphere. And I'm going to go ahead and create the arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a plane normal to that curve or that line, and put another one at this endpoint. Same thing, except on the opposite side. Okay, so I'm going to now intersect the sphere with the plane. And then I'm going to use sweep. I'll do a linear sweep, 2 limits. And I'm going to remove the extension here down to 0. Okay, so you can see now when I move the arm, it all moves together as one, as you can see. And by the way, you can add planes to be able to rotate. So if I was to go back to the other one, I've added planes to rotate the arm. You can also add planes to rotate the forearm, or to rotate the wrist. So it all depends how much detail and how much motion you want to add to your mannequin. Okay, so as you can see, you can do that. Alright, so let's go back to ours. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing for the torso. So I'm going to intersect this sphere with the horizontal, and I'm going to then split it. So I'm going to take the circle, split it with the plane. Are you sure this is what you want? Yes, that's what I want. I'm going to mirror this over. So I'm going to mirror the arc over. Then I'm going to connect them with the line, so it looks like an elongated hole. And I'm going to join it. And I'll do the same thing at the hip section. Alright, so let's go ahead and create the hips. Line, point in direction, and we'll go in the y direction, mirrored. Okay, so let's create the hips. Let's see, two and a half. And repeat the process. Okay, so I'm going to place a plane normal to this spline at this endpoint. There you have it. And intersect the sphere. So we're just repeating the same process we did at the shoulders to create our torso. Forgot to put a plane to split with at this endpoint. And let's split the circle with the plane. I'm going to mirror the arc. And connect the arcs like we did at the shoulders. Line, point to point. Okay, now I'm going to extrude normal to this plane, and it'll just be for reference, just so I can go tangent. You'll see in a minute. So I'm going to go multi-section. So I'm going to go from the shoulders to the hips, tangent to the surface, and preview. And I got lucky on this one. The points, the closing points ended up lining up with each other. If they don't, notice how the points line up with each other. If they didn't, you can always go here and change them. Okay, so we have the torso area. Okay, so I don't need this anymore here. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the legs. Alright, so let's go line, angle normal to curve. So our curve will be the Z. And we'll go off of this point on this plane. Oh, forgot about this. Gotta go support. There it is. Yeah, if it goes to this plane, it's going to extend the endpoint to a plane, so it may go on forever. That's not, we don't want that. Alright, so let's do the lower portion of the leg. So we did the femur, right? Is that right? Alright, so now let's create a line with respect to the Z at that point. Support plane. There we go. Okay, so I can rotate, as you can see. Let's do our foot. This time I'm going to go point in direction. Point direction in the, I think is the Z direction. X direction, my mistake. Let's go 6. And let's move the torso a little bit. Straighten it out a little bit. There it is. Alright, so we can also create spheres in these areas. Let's go with 2-inch radius. Let's go with 1.5 radius. Forgot one sphere. Okay, and let's go ahead and do the foot. So I'll place a plane. This point. One at this point. Then I'm going to offset the plane slightly. Reverse. Let's go 1. Do the same thing on the other one. And then I'm going to use multi-section. Whoa, forgot to intersect. Intersect sphere with plane. Intersect sphere with plane. And do multi-section. Circle, tangent to sphere. Circle, tangent to sphere. And okay. Whoa, that's a little too much, but that's okay. You got the idea. And once again, you can always move your leg. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.